Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Gradowski of wearechange.org, and in this video, I specifically wanted to talk about the latest developments with what's happening between Patreon and Sargon of Akkad, Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, Tim Pool, and a lot of other independent creators who are having enough. And with these recent developments, how I'm actually optimistic and hopeful with everything that's happening right now, plus what we are doing about the situation. And if you've been paying attention just even a little bit, you would understand that it's not really an easy position to be in right now as an independent creator online with, of course, the literal thought police looking to crush anyone going against the status quo, which they have been doing very effectively. And sitting here looking left and looking right and seeing a lot of my friends just having their entire existence eviscerated from the internet, it does bring on a kind of environment where people are terrified to actually express their original ideas. And we have seen Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, and now, of course, Patreon just take down, of course, people who they disagree with politically, and also mainly people who are anti-establishment. It's not just always people on the right. Even though the media likes to focus on that very specific aspect, it's actually a lot bigger, especially with what Patreon recently did, where they just took down Sargon of Akkad's, an independent YouTube creator's Patreon page and ability to pay for his work, essentially taking away his income, which some people estimated to be $12,000 or more per month, right before Christmas when he has a family and kids, which people have estimated to be around $12,000 or more. And they did this right before Christmas from a man who has a wife and kid. And again, a lot of these decisions are done ruthlessly in a matter of seconds, instantly, with no recourse to even get your financial freedom back. And to be completely honest with you, with the current situation developing, I couldn't be more optimistic and hopeful than ever before. Let me tell you why. The main reason is that all this bullcrap, hypocrisy, double standards, disingenuous power plays are finally being exposed, while, of course, viable alternative solution and ideas are brewing and fighting against it. Now, let's just talk about this recent case, what happened with Sargon of Akkad, who, by the way, was banned from Patreon because of a 10-month-old video, not from his channel, but a small channel that had less than 4,000 subscribers. And the video was when he was debating on a live video, which has only garnered a few thousand views, where he referred to actual neo-Nazis, actual racists, doing his best to try to insult them since they were attacking him. And he called them white ninjas. Not ninjas, but the other word. You guys know what I'm trying to say here. Because now you can't use this word in any context because, of course, you'll be shut down. A video of which that was not posted on Patreon, and this was the offense that Patreon justified the banning of his account. And again, just for the record here, I disagree with Sargon of Akkad on many issues. I have actually even challenged him on some issues on this very channel when we interviewed him. But I think it's plain to me and everyone else that this was definitely selective enforcement, and offensive words are all over Patreon, and they don't enforce their own rules on their own platform. And they have even publicly stated that their own rules aren't even publicly clear about what is a violation of their terms and services and what isn't. The platform is filled with racial slurs and hate speech that the platform does absolutely nothing about. Their selective enforcement is very clear, with even Jack Conte, the CEO of Patreon, previously saying pornography isn't allowed on Patreon. And of course, the platform is filled with a boatload of it. I even have an ex-girlfriend who's on there who's, let's just say, sending out interesting photos for Patreon supporters. There's a boatload of that stuff on there. I always pick the worst girlfriends. Anyway, yeah. And this company is absolutely full of crap on how they say they enforce their rules, their selective enforcement, and of course their larger conflict of interest. And of course, very similar things also happen on YouTube, which was very well actually highlighted by PaymoneyWubby on his latest video that was titled Creepy Mom Videos Need to Stop, where he highlighted that on YouTube there's a huge subsection of videos where literally they have Asian women with little babies around wearing skirts and literally just freaking spreading ego as far as wide as the world could see, monetized, promoted by, of course, YouTube. Yeah, there's no issue with freaking what is ultimately just softcore spank videos. Yeah, perverted upskirt videos with children. Yeah, that's totally cool, which are obviously very clearly for a specific demographic of people. Yeah, those videos are going to be monetized. Yes, those videos are going to show up in the search. Those videos are going to get millions and millions of views by the YouTube corporation. But a few years ago, oh, you're an independent news reporter? Bam! We're going to screw you over just like they screwed over this channel, and we're going to selectively target you, demonetize you, and make sure no one ever finds you ever because, oh, God forbid, the biggest threat here is, of course, independent media. Small mom-and-pop operations, which we've been a huge target of, and getting screwed over by this YouTube algorithm and this YouTube system for years now. You put in We Are Change, you put in my name, automatically demonetized. But that stuff, yeah. Even more disturbing content with children. Yeah, that was fine for a while. Even the freaking bad videos, those are okay. They first went after independent journalists on this entire platform, trying to, of course, censor those voices, but all this other stuff, even this right now, these videos of the creepy moms, the Asian moms with the little kids, they're still up and monetized and getting millions of views, which of course shows you the prioritized interest and the selective targeting of their terms and services and rules that are just made up on the spot. This whole manifest observable behavior bullcrap that Jack Conte came up with is very selectively used. There's other high-profile people who are telling people to commit mass violence, self-harm. Those people don't get banned. A lot of left-leaning people who do promote violence, yeah, those guys are okay. Literally, organizations calling themselves paramilitary organizations, yeah, they're cool. Call for an insurrection, yeah, as long as you're commie, that's fine. The ideas of communism have never been detrimental to human society before, right? And again, a lot of these people on the right, I definitely don't agree with on so many different points. And these actions, just based on how hypocritical they are pushing people towards that ideology more and doing actual more damage to these people's cause than they realize. And of course, because of these bigger political power moves, Patreon is not only hurting itself, but they're hurting almost virtually everyone on their platform. Not only disincentivizing use, but other people like Stexinghammer666, another YouTube and independent creator, just lost $1,100 a month because of the people who are absolutely sick and tired of the double standards here and very clear lies which are being told by this big corporation. We also lost a significant amount of income on our Patreon page. And so are countless of other users on the platform right now. And I don't think the company knows what they're doing at all. They previously said that their company policy doesn't comment on the removal of creators, and now they just released another statement doubling down on their decisions, publicly announcing it and commenting on it, which even Tim Pool, who actually talked to Jack Conte, showed how they say one thing publicly and one other thing behind the scenes. And very interestingly, the person who made the official announcement and works for Patreon right now was Jacqueline Hart, who of course previously worked with other big financial institutions and banks, but most importantly, previously worked for PayPal. PayPal, the same organization that just pulled their support and shut down the alternative to Patreon, Subscriber Star, preventing people from effectively joining and using their platform anymore, ultimately destroying Patreon's competitor, which of course probably has nothing to do with Jacqueline Hart, the trust and safety head at Patreon, who, you know, worked at PayPal for over 8 years. And of course the media is having a heyday with this because allegedly a Russian is behind Subscriber Star, which obviously no one cared about, but they have been effectively shut down as an alternative. And the biggest news out of this entire incident came from Sam Harris, who is an author, philosopher, podcaster, who's more of a kind of mainstream figure, who was actually the 13th largest member of Patreon as far as how much money he was receiving, which people estimated was between $23,000 to $60,000 per month through the platform. And just as of a few moments ago, he has publicly announced that he is closing his Patreon account because of the banning of several prominent content creators on their platform, which he explains by political bias. And even though, like myself, do not agree with the people banned and their politics, but that overall this is a very irrational move by Patreon that is acting on whims and cannot be trusted. And holy cow, definitely a lot of respect has to be given to Sam Harris, which again, I don't even agree with on a lot of issues. And wow, I mean, imagine giving away $60,000 a month. And one thing that has to be said here, he definitely put his money where his mouth was. And of course, this is a major move that's inspiring a lot of other people. People like Tim Pool, people like Jordan Peterson, Dave Rubin, Stuxenhammer, and others who are saying, yeah, we shouldn't be on this platform, and they're making moves away from it. With Tim Pool saying that he is terminating his account in the coming weeks and that people could support him on his website. Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson talking about launching and creating their own alternative to Patreon. And of course, this giving way to alternatives that are decentralized, based on transparent blockchains, and can't be censored and stopped like cryptocurrencies. And hell, even on my Twitter, I just tweeted everyone saying, hey, let's actually do this. Because you know what? We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to be terminating our Patreon page. So if you are one of our Patreon supporters, make sure to understand that you could easily go to wearechange.org and switch your subscription over to our website just by clicking subscribe or donate, and we could move away from a platform that lies to us, has a clear political bias, and then even takes a cut out of our own money. Which, of course, they sure as hell do not deserve, and screw it. We're just going to do everything through our website right now. As far as cryptocurrencies, yeah, we're pretty much on all the major ones. Also on wearechange.org/donate. We're also on Steemit. We're also on Tube. And hell, it's time we take away this stinking, hypocritical, lying corporate horde foot out of our throats. Because of these wannabe corporate overlords only exist because of our participation on their platforms. And moving away from Patreon, I believe, is a great first step towards the bigger other steps that we will soon have to make. It's not all doom and gloom. We got this. It'll be fine. The more they try to shut us down, the more powerful we become. So honestly, I really only see good things coming from this, because we are finally getting to shine a light on the truth of who people are and what they stand for. And their lies and hypocrisies are being exposed more than ever, and how we perceive this current situation is also going to represent how we come out of it. And we could come out of this situation a lot worse off or a lot better off. But that decision is not only up to me, but it's also up to you and your participation. And understanding that and believing that is one of the main reasons why I always end my videos by saying, love you guys! Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more.